Alright, Robert Drury back again on my quest to get to 2200. I am currently at 2117, and let's see if we can get a 10-minute game. Okay, my opponent is 2105, and he has been on here since June of 2024. Let's take a quick look at his record. Looks like he's got a pretty legit record, so we will start with a B3. And bishop to b2, which is our standard Nimzo Larsen to start with. And now he's playing basically, it's kind of like a reverse English with the c pawn and the d pawn. I will bring a knight into here with the plans of pushing e5. But we will first develop a bishop out and prepare that move. Okay, so all right, he could come in here, which is what it looks like he's going to do, but we will go ahead and we will play the e4 move first. And it's not a typical Hippo setup with the pawn here to start with, but it gets into a little bit more of an advanced stage. Then knight will come around, and we're kind of in an advanced stage of a Hippo, and he's basically wasted a pawn move by pushing this to e6, then e5. And he is going to, let's see, we want to pull this knight around, and that's exactly what we want to do. We want to push, but we wanted to clarify this first. So now I can come in here and push him back. Go ahead and castle and push this way, which is what we will do. We will castle. And he's... All right, let's see. We'll come in here. We push. What do we do? All right, first we will bring a knight here, and we will target the bishop, and we will target the pawn. And now, wow, I could just get the bishop there, push. All right, first let's bring our rook, our bishop. Let's bring our bishop back around. All right, now I could take, he takes back, and then I can open it up with my pawn. And I think that's what we will do. I really don't want to lose the knight to the bishop, that particular bishop. I know it's a bad bishop, but at the same time, my plan is to open the position up. The pawn could come out, but what we're going to do is we're going to take with the pawn and threaten the push. And, or did we take with the knight? All right, we take with the knight. Not real sure if that was the route we should be going, because now he's got this. Could take him out, get the bishop here, or have both bishops. The two bishops versus the two knights, if he doesn't move it away. And he doesn't. So now what do? We go into the two bishops versus two knights end game, or middle game rather. All right, let's see. If I go here, he takes back. I can pin. You come in here and attack the pawn. All right, let's. I don't know, man. Let's see. Where's this knight? No. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's. I'm not 100% sure. We will. Push here. Keep the knight out of here. All right, let's do that. Let's do that. We're going to keep the knight out if he pushes the pawn. I don't know. This could get a little interesting. Pushes the pawn. I could push. Could take. Oh my. All right, let's come in here. And I don't know. We'll see. I may just drop back. I might drop back. I didn't think about the fact now that if he pushes here, I could take. We're going to double the pawns. He will most likely pull the knight back, would be my guess. Or he could just sack it. He could just sack the knight. Oh, that's just interesting. This I'll get out. All right, let's come back this way. I mean, what's he gonna do? Can't come here. My bishop will come back down this way, and it's going to defend this square. And let's come in here. Will he trade off? All right, let's do it. Let's come in. Let's see if he'll trade. See if he'll trade. Kind of doubt. I will drop here and target the pawn. All right, so he opted to sack a knight to get some attack on my king. He's got pawns. He's got pawns for the piece. Is he gonna come in here? Come in here. Let's do that. Let's come in here. And if he pushes here, we will take. He takes back. We take here. If he comes here, we take. He takes. What do we do? Or do we just take the pawn? All right, so now what do we do? All right, what do we do? Take. And he ends up pushing this guy down the board. No, I don't like that. Do I drop back? All right, let's drop back. Let's drop here. And let's see, I'm basically up a point. He's got 7 pawns to my 5. But I got a bishop. I got the 2 bishops versus a knight. He can't come here. Can't come here. was thinking maybe if you took here, I would just go ahead and take. And then I could bring my other rook around. But I can't push here. Let's see, what's he going to do? All right. He's up 1.5 minutes on time. All right, we saw that coming. All right, it's going to take here. All right, we will come in here. And if he pushes, we will get the rook off the board. Technically, I could have taken there, but I didn't want him pushing. I didn't want this coming down the board on me. Okay, he's off the board. He's off the board. And I don't like that at all. All right, do this. His rook's coming down. Push, push. Come in here. That's what we'll do. We'll do this. We'll come up this way. And we'll give him a check. And we will slide in right there. We will push. Actually, I'll come in here. I'll come in here. Attack this way. And all right, so now we're still up a point. I've just got to stop these two pawns. This keeps his king out of these two squares. The bishop keeps his king out of here and also protects these two pawns. Now I can bring this rook up, and all right, rook comes up. It's coming over. I mean, he can push. It's not gonna do me good. I get this pawn to fall. He can't get in here to protect it because he's got his king's blocked off. If he comes over here, he can't come over here. I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna take. Then I can take. This bishop will always protect these pawns. This pawn is protected by this pawn, so he can't keep this pawn from falling, I do not believe. All right, so let's see. What is he going to do? There we go. And I mean, he could come in here. I'm just going to take. Not sure if I care about this pawn. All right, so I'm up on time now. His king is out of the game. It's coming here, and he's got nothing. I mean, I'm gonna just take here, and then I can come back here. And if he gives me, boom, let's do this. Let's take. And once again, he's got some issues. I'm gonna walk my king over. All right, so he's basically now he's down a full 3 points. His 3 pawns on the king side are gone. He can never win one of these pawns. And let's start walking this piece over. See if he can get in the game. All right, so now he's going to come in here. He's going to drop in here, take this pawn. And once again, I mean, this guy's not going anywhere. He should be dead lost. He comes in here, I'll just take, and they come off the board. And, well, he can't even take back. All right, I'm going to come here. He just giving me basically that's a tempo move. Come in here, take. And he can't even come in here because I can check him. Okay, so what's he going to do? Okay, we will give him a check. And we will start walking our king into his position. And now this pawn falls. All right, so he's I don't know, he might play on, but he's dead lost. Come in here. He cannot take because of that, and I will take there. And once again, he is in a lot of trouble. All right, I will come over here. I can drop down here, and I can start pushing my pieces up the board. Okay, boom, boom. Let's see. All right, push up the board here, and I'm coming up here. Gives me a check. My bishop will block. And all right, let's just start pushing. Let's push up the board. All right, bishop blocks with check. Okay, he's going to keep you out of these 2 squares. And I am going to just continue with my onslaught. Okay, let's see. I can't do that. Come here, and I've got this. I got this coming. He is trying his best. Okay, and now he's lost. Rook's coming off the board, and there's nothing he can do. All right, we're just waiting now. I take it he does not want to resign. All right, there you go. I'm up to 21-25. And let's do a quick game review. And 85.1. And looks like there's just one miss and no blunders. And let's see. Let's get back to the actual game and look at it. All right, so once again, I'm playing a Nimzo Larson, and I'm gonna morph it into a hippo. And as I had talked about before on one of the websites, it's got the database, and it's like out of 2.7 million games, there are like a little less than 11,000 that are a Nimzo Larson, and that's the master database. So you get a very small percentage of Nimzo Larsons, and then once I go into the hippo, it gets really small. It gets in the master database, it comes down to, I think, if you get a full hippo, maybe 4 or 5 that have actually played a full hippo out of this, which is kind of odd. You would think that it'd be more than that. But let's go forward. And let's see, in this, I call this, if I was playing the black side and he started off with C4 and D5, it would be an English opening. So I'll say this is just kind of a reverse English. And when I see these two pawns, I'm going to put a pawn on D3. I'm going to put a knight on D2. And then once he pushes his E pawn, or maybe even if he pushes it to here, I'm going to push E5, E4 rather. Now, if he plays the knight to F6 before I push, then I will go ahead and develop my kingside pawn on G3 and bishop to G2, and then I will push. All right, but anyway, let's go forward. He brings this knight around, so now it's signaling I need to play G2 and bishop, or G3 and bishop to G2. And I go ahead, I'm still playing for the push here with the pawn. And this, in my opinion, this is not the best, because he'll later on spend another tempo getting it here. So he just loses a tempo. All right, so here it is. I'm going to bring a bishop here and then work on pushing this pawn, pushing the E pawn to E4. All right, he brings this knight around. My bishop's coming up, and he brings his bishop down, and there's my push. Now let's see, what did the engine call for? The engine says knight at G to F3, but that's not really what the Hippo player wants. And its second move is E4. Okay, so E4, he pushes down, and now here we don't mind this at all, because in our Hippo we will bring the bishop back to C1 and we will take it down this file. Okay, so I'm continuing with the Hippo setup, and we're continuing with the Hippo, and now he pushes over here. So now I'm like, I don't really want him to push, and I then kind of gets a little messy over here. So I go ahead and play A4, because if he pushes this way, I'm more than happy, because now I've got C4 for my knight. If he takes, I'm also no problem. I'll just take back with the rook. And it's either way it goes, I like those options. And he pushes, so now I've got the C4 square, which I can target the bishop here. I go ahead and castle. The other option is I bring the bishop here and work on the F4 push. All right, he plays A5. I bring my knight up, and now I'm attacking here. I got an eye on that pawn and also on this pawn. So let's see, but is that what the engine wanted? The engine says Queen D1, knight to C4 was like the fourth on the list, but there's not a whole lot of difference between the first on the list and the fourth. Okay, he castles. And now I bring my bishop down. I'm preparing to go up this way, and I'm also preparing to push. Now let's go back. And once again, that was a third best option. They wanted you to go ahead and go F4. All right. He brings the bishop down. Now I do not want to trade this bishop for this knight, because now it will compromise my pawn structure. And I don't want to move the knight back, because it's just a waste of tempo. So I go ahead and take knight to D6. And I know that's a bad bishop, but I can open the position up with my pawn, and then this bishop can get out. And he takes, and let's see, and that's the engine says F4. That's what I played. He takes, and now here's where, what do I take with? It's like, normally I would take here, and that's the best move. That's not what I played, because I'm thinking, well, if I take here, maybe he will get a little antsy, drop back, and then I can push. And I don't know. I'm sitting there thinking I can maybe come down this diagonal and win this knight. And it was not to be. I end up taking with the knight, and black is slightly better. And I take the other bishop out, and now it's pretty even. I got the two bishops. It's pretty even here. And I push the pawn because I'm trying to keep the knight out of h5. And let's see, what does the engine want? The engine says bishop to f4, rook to f2, and it does not give g4 as in one of the top four. And it's a minus 0.12, minus 0.13 with the top. Well, actually, there is g4 right there, minus 0.13. Not a lot of difference. And push it, and now he does the unexpected. Well, he'll do the unexpected in a second. It brings this rook down, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to target the bishop and see if I can double these pawns. Now, he did the unexpected. He took. That was, he just gave up a pawn piece. I mean, that's basically what he did. I take back, he takes, and now I'll bring my queen up. Let's see, the engine actually likes bishop to h3, pinning the knight. Also likes rook to f5. Regardless, it's like white has a lot of choices. He brings his, he's going to protect this knight. And I'm just trying to get pieces off the board. Let's see, let's go back. What did the engine like? The engine likes just rook at a to e1. But I'm just working on getting pieces off the board. He says no. I drop my bishop down, and I'm wanting to force this queen to get over somewhere over here where I can take it. And if he drops back, then I can take this pawn. All right. All right, let's, oh, went the wrong way. Wait a second, what am I doing? All right, here we go, bring down, now I'm threatening the pawn. He brings his queen back, I drop my bishop down, just getting it out of the line. And now he brings his rook over, and now we'll just take. He takes back, and my rook comes to f5, and now I'm hitting this pawn, I'm hitting this pawn, and he pushes. I did not want to take this pawn because now I'm going to be stuck trying to defend the c2 square, and I did not want to do that. All right, bring the rook over. We're getting rooks off the board. Rook's coming off. And now bishop takes e3, and I saw that he can bring his rook here, but I also knew I could take this pawn, I can push here, and I got to check, drop my bishop into c4, and everything is protected. And he does that, and I do go ahead with my plan, I push, and now even if he goes in here, I got the check and the drop back. He brings this king over, and it's just ended up being a wasted tempo for him, and then I can drop back in. And now he plays g5, but I've got rook to e4, and I can slide my rook over and start taking his pawns out. He moves a pawn up, he's just searching for moves. Here goes my rook. And now it's kind of a mop-up duty. I'm not worried about this pawn because I know he's going to fall, and eventually I'm going to get over here and I'm going to win some pawns. He takes, and we will just go through the moves here. And once the rook comes over here, it can drop into b5 and hit both the a5 and c5 pawns. All right, he gives me a check, and it just gives me, I'm able to move my king up, and let's go. I'll just go through the moves here. And I don't know. I'll go through the moves. I don't know if there's anything in here where he could have actually ever got anything back. Okay. And I'm just marching pieces up the board now. I mean, to be honest, he could have resigned at this point. He chose not to. There are so many ways for White to win this game. But I will go through these last few moves. All right, now here, I do want to point out here, I didn't want to bring my, well, I couldn't do that. I didn't want to go here. I could have done that. I mean, if he takes, I take, and he's just got to drop back. All right, so I could have done that. Let's see. And he timed out at that point, but the game is basically over. But with that, I will see you on the next video.